Hey movers and shakers, welcome to another exciting episode of the 7-Figure Moving Academy. Today we're talking about grow or die, and I got all this information on these boards, and you want to figure out what this all means, how it all interrelates. Well, you got to watch this video to find out, and that video is coming up right now. Hey movers and shakers, let's get into the video. Today we're talking about growing or dying, because that's the only two things you're doing in business. You're either growing or you're dying. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Here we got a graph, okay? So this is just a regular graph of growth, right? And what you want to do is you want to be right here on this path right here. That's your ideal scene. But what happens is a lot of people is they do this gradual increase. But as you can see, you can do this gradual increase, but once you go over what's ideal, there's this discrepancy right there that you are losing money. Even though you're growing at a steady, stable pace, you're actually below the ideal growth line, which means you are dying. So what we want to do, ideally, is we want you to grow on that line so that you're actually growing above this line. And this point right here, that's called the make or break point. And I actually have a video right over here that you can check out about the make break point, right? So this is what you're doing. So what we want to try to do is get you from this normal trend to the ideal trend. Does this make sense? Now, when we talk about scaling, what are we talking about? Scaling is different from actually growing your business, right? Growing the business, this is what we want to do. That's the trajectory. But scaling the business is the systematic step-by-step growth upwards, right? And typically what you do is you go phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4, 5, and so forth as you grow the business, right? So what you want to do is the first step, what you want to do is you want to build the foundation for the first step. And then once you got that foundation built, then you progress to the second step, build its foundation, progress to the third, build its foundation, so on and so forth. Now, what that looks like for you and your business, I can't say, right? And every business has their own different steps and foundations it needs to create. And we're going to go over some of those criteria right now. So let's take a look here. So one of the first things you want to do, right, in my opinion, and if you're going to be down here in that first foundation, you want to start creating your systems and processes, right? This is where you want to take, and this is as easy as 1, 2, 3, literally. So what you would do is you would create a checklist of how to do a certain procedure, including how, if the copier breaks down, what is it that you do to fix a paper jam in the copier? If you run out of tape, I'm just saying, what is the process of getting new tape? And you just go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Right? That's all you really need to do to create systems and processes. But also on systems, you want to create if, and then scenario. So if this happens, then do this. If this happens, then do that. So it's called if then, right? So in your systems, you're going to be creating the processes, which is 1, 2, 3. And then if it bugs, if this happens, then do blah, right? And that's how you create systems and processes. Guys, don't get too involved in this. It's not rocket science, right? You take what you do and you go, this is what I do first, this is what I do second, this is what I do third, this is what I do fourth. Oh, on the third step, if I run into this problem, then I do this. Simple, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You could set it up on a checklist. You could set it up on an Excel sheet. Whatever you want to do, you could actually, it's that simple, right? When you want to do a new program, you just set, you want to put in a new foundation. You go, okay, here's the system. and then you tweak the system. So when you find the bugs in the system, you create an if-then scenario so that it fixes that bug. Does this make sense? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Another thing that you want to do is you want to start thinking about expansion. And that could mean different locations. It means more people. It could be various different things. But one of the things you want to do if you're going to grow is you got to start thinking expansion and maybe different locations like franchising or creating agencies or whatever you need to do or creating buyer's agents or whatever you're doing. Like if you're a chiropractor, maybe you start doing different locations for chiropractic. Or it could be different things. Maybe you add in more chiropractors into the one location that you have, right? And so on. Right, the next thing you want to look into is more products. Right? You want to get into what products you're going to do. If you're a tax accountant, right? You do accounting for taxes. What products could you also put onto your service that you could offer that would actually help you increase your income, increase your expansion, and so on and so forth? What else could you provide that's going to help? If you're mowing lawns, maybe more products would be. If you're in the north, maybe snow removal or landscaping or lawn design or whatever, right? Maybe you create an arborist, right, who will go and handle trees, whatever you want to do. But there are different products you could add to it, and this is going to help you grow or die. The next thing you want to do is you want to centralize. Right? You want to centralize all your operations into one location. You don't want people going out doing at different locations. You want to bring it in-house, right? So if you're using a CRM, a third-party CRM, maybe one of those things you would want to do is bring that CRM in-house. If you got salespeople salespeople using a service that's handling your sales, bring those salespeople in-house. So you want to start centralizing your activities, therefore you can control its costs and its expenditures, and therefore control how much you're paying, what you're not paying, and so on and so forth. Because if for instance, my industry was the moving industry. So what I would do to centralize is I would buy a truck. So I'd buy a truck and bring it into my umbrella, my operations, right? Instead of renting a truck. Because renting trucks, I now have to rent the truck, plus the mileage, plus the fuel, plus their insurance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that is far more expensive than if I just bought the truck, got my own insurance, and handled the maintenance on my own. This is an idea of centralizing. Another centralizing is people use phone services to answer phones when they're offline. Maybe hire somebody in-house to answer your phones 24/7. It's not that difficult. It's an easy peasy lemon squeezy kind of job to do. But bring the stuff in-house. This is one of the things that will help you grow, right? Next one is you want to stabilize. And when I say stabilize your income and stabilize your company, I want you're going to need to have your systems and processes in check. But you want to start stabilizing. For instance, if you're in a seasonal job or business like moving or lawn care or something or construction where it's seasonal, right? You're going to get these peaks and then you're going to get during the winter times, you're going to get these lulls. Or maybe the seasons are switched, whatever you're doing. But instead of having those highs and those lows, you want to stabilize that, right? And one way you could do that is by creating reoccurring passive income. Now, if you're in the moving industry, one of the best ways of creating reoccurring income is getting storage, right? You'd want to buy some storage facility so you can create that monthly income flow and you get that cash flow through that. If you're a real estate agent, by creating a stable income, you want to maybe have more doors, as they say in the industry, real estate industry. That's like multifamily apartment buildings and condos and so on and so forth, or Airbnb. So if you're in the real estate, you want to get more doors. That increases your reoccurring income. You know that money's coming in consistently, constantly, stably. So doing reoccurring income, passive income, is something that you might want to look into. And here's another thing. It's a business model that a lot of people are not employing, and that is the membership or subscription model. What can you do to create a subscription model? Like, I have a friend, he's next door, he's a masseuse. I told him, create a subscription model. Create a model where they pay $50 a month and they get a certain discount off of their services over and above anybody else. They get priority service. So if they book, they can get next day service or that day service, right? They get priority service over anybody. So if a member comes in and they want to get service right now, they bump somebody that's not a member from a time slot. So somebody comes in, I'm not a member, I want to get in, I got an appointment for 1 o'clock, but a VIP member comes in, that VIP is going to get that slot and the other guy gets bumped a little bit. Does this make sense? It incentivizes the people who are not members to become members because they want that same VIP important thing. So that might be something that you might want to look into, is a subscription model, right? Or maybe there's a service, like if you're an accountant, maybe you have a program that you bring in. One of the products would be a subscription model where you come in every week and you handle the books. Something like that. You're getting the idea, right? And then finally, you want to set goals and milestones to achieve, right? Especially if you're in sales, you want to set sales goals. So what is the goal for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? And you want to set those goals and milestones. And you don't want to make them so ungodly unreachable that it just defeats you and your team and lowers morale. You want to set them high enough that you're challenged to get to that next level. And once you reach that level, good, then you set a goal or milestone up and above that. And that's how you reach the ideal trajectory to get through the ideal goal that you want to attain for your business. And you avoid this death trap of normalcy, because normalcy ends up in dying. You don't want normalcy. What you want is a trajectory that gets you above this make or break line. Right? Because once you go below that make-break line, you are not making it. So that's what we're trying to do. So this is how you grow or die. Hopefully you learned something. If you have, I'd love to hear from you. I want to hear what your concepts, your ideas. So leave me a comment down in the comments section below. Leave me a thumbs up if you like this video. If you didn't, that's all right. Tell me, give me a thumbs down. That lets me know, okay, this wasn't the greatest. Or if you got some idea or something that I should have added or clarified or just dismissed on this list, I would like to find your idea on this, because I can't do this without your guys' input. So please, input, help me out. Help me help you by helping me. Okay? Good. Awesome. I like you. I love you. Go do something great today.